also joining us on the broadcast is Utsav. He's the Executive Director of the Hindu Action Group, which is opposed to this legislation. Now, Utsav, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. What is your primary concern with this? We understand that the Hindu group feels, the Hindu Action Group, that's what your organization is called, feels that this is an attempt perhaps to basically malign a specific community?
That's correct, because even though on the surface it looks and it is being presented in the media as if it is against caste-based discrimination, and it, nobody wants to, discriminate on the basis of caste, neither in India nor in America. But the facts, once you go into the layers of what is being done here, what it is essentially doing is it is going to profile people of South Asian origin, especially people of Indian and Hindu origin, on the basis of caste. So essentially tomorrow, if a Satya Nadella becomes the CEO of a big multinational corporation, he has to prove first that he's not a casteist before he is given that job. Now that itself is discrimination, because there are laws in the United States that make sure that nobody is discriminated on any basis, whether it is caste, nationality, or gender. But by actually introducing this specific clause targeting Indian Americans and Hindu Americans, they are introducing a new form of discrimination in the Seattle city. What is even more concerning is who are the people behind it. Because the survey that has been used by Kshama Sawant, who is the councillor of Seattle city who brought this resolution, that survey was actually authored by a Pakistani professor whose family is very well connected in the ISI, in the Pakistan Military Intelligence. And she's also very active in the Kashmiri separatist diaspora. So there are things that don't add up, and our press release outlines that. It is also very important for people to understand, because people in India may not understand how things are in America on this issue, that there has been a survey, the neutral survey done by Carnegie Institute for International Peace, Johns Hopkins University, and University of Pennsylvania, which has defined that caste is one of the least identifying factors among South Asians in America. Nationality, religion are much bigger factors. So essentially what you see happening here is that caste is being artificially introduced as a factor of identification so that people of Indian and South Asian origin can be divided along those lines, which is very detrimental to our community.
Right, do stay with us. I think our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor is also joining us on the broadcast, and I think he also has a question for you. Go ahead, Abhishek. All right, I don't think we've managed to connect with Abhishek again on this one. Now, what I wanted to ask you apart from that, Utsav, is that we understand that there was another council member, Kshama Sawant, who was also on this. In fact, she was the one who proposed this. And the argument that they have made is that it accounts, this particular legislation or piece of law essentially accounts for how caste discrimination crosses national and religious boundaries. So that basically is their argument. But you feel that that was never an issue and it's now being made into an issue?
That's correct. Well, there has to be statistical evidence to show that there is caste discrimination in America. And all statistical evidence so far that have been provided from neutral efforts as well as proper scientific surveys shows that caste is one of the least identifying factors in America. And what Kshama Sawant has done, and she has done this before during the CAA, she actually is also the same person who brought an anti-India resolution on CAA and Kashmir, by the way. So there is a pattern of behavior that targets Indian Americans and specifically Hindu Americans. And you should, I would encourage everybody to actually see her speech today, where the entire speech had very little to do with caste or discrimination. It had a lot of content about targeting India and specifically the Indian government that is currently led by Prime Minister Modi.
All right, do stay with us. Now, in fact, we are now learning that the BJP has also hit out, saying that the Hindu diaspora in the US is under attack and false narratives are being used against Hindus. Let's listen into that comment that's come in from Kapil Mishra. All right. I'm going to quickly thank Utsav, the Executive Director of the Hindu Action Group, on that. Thank you for joining us. We are, of course, also now getting a reaction from the BJP on this. Thank you.